Hi, Shavuot Tov, everybody. As you can see, I've got the Siddur here and a bottle of wine. Naturally, just did Havdalah not so long ago. Over here this evening, naturally on Motzei Shabbat to do it. This just before I start off my Talmud tidbit on today, here on Pei Chet, page 88 of Masechet Bava Kamma. Thought I'll just say a word over the importance of saying Havdalah after Shabbat comes out. We come out of Shabbat, we obviously have the Suda Reviyat, and there's certain tefillot that we say on Motzei Shabbat. There's two specific tefillot that we say over before the Havdalah service over here. I'll just get the place for you. This text of the Sephardi version of the halakha, of the Havdalah over here. This is a main body text that one would say, and one would have to naturally drink a lot of wine. There's Elokeinu b'Elokei Avotenu tefillah to say before to wish a good week. Elokei Abraham also, which we say over 3 times also, and something that maybe some people don't do, which is a shame, but also very, very important for the rest of the week. Obviously, there's songs that one should sing also after Havdalah, Shavuot Tov, Shavuot Tov, Shavuot Tov, all these great songs and tunes. Also, V'yiten lecha tefillah also over here, which is quite a big tefillah also, but I recommend everyone to say it also. So don't forget, please read about it, and it's great to do Havdalah optimum on dry red wine, and that's the optimum basically of doing the Havdalah, and with a specific amount, and make the Havdalah an experience for the whole family. And even if you're in the house by yourself, you might not have kids or you might not have anyone living with you, still you're greeting the exit of Shabbat. And it's important to wear fine clothes and to also take it extremely seriously also. But now, friends, we are talking about page 88 in Masechet Bava Kamma. We are community here. Many of you are watching every day. Many of you might be the first time watching this or watching it sporadically over here. So we are learning together Masechet Bava Kamma. At the moment, this 87th page at the moment here, naturally on page 88, because naturally no Gemara really has Daf Aleph. It always starts on Daf Bet over here. Now we're talking about, in today's Daf, about the ordinances of something called Usha. What is this? We're going to learn about it over here. Once again, this is also taken from Rav Adin Steinsaltz, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, his excellent works, which he has published, and it's featured on the Steinsaltz website. And he's got a whole set of the Korean Gemaras, which I very much recommend everybody to look at it or to invest in it, to purchase it. It's absolutely outstanding and excellent. Okay, so it's interesting. The Gemara actually is going to discuss a story of a woman who wrote a will. A will, naturally, we know what that is. Giving her inheritance to her son over here. But after her death, her husband contested the will, arguing that the inheritance actually belonged to himself, that it shouldn't go to the son. Okay, Rabbi Yossi Bar Hanina actually concludes that Takanat Usha, something called Takanat Usha, allows the husband to take possession of his wife's property after her death, even if she sold it while she was alive. So what's going on, friends? A very complex situation. First of all, what's Takanat Usha? That's what Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz asks straight away inside the essay. According to the Gemara, actually we see it in Masechet Rosh Hashanah in Daf Lamed Aleph, page 31, naturally Amud Aleph to be precise. At the time of the destruction of the Bet HaMikdash, as the Jewish people were sent into exile, it was Hashem joined them by removing his presence from the Bet HaMikdash in a series of stages. It was done slowly. In a parallel move, the Sanhedrin gradually removed itself. It removed its officers on the Temple Mount as well, making its way to the Galilee, where most of the remaining Jews were to live under Roman rule at that specific time. However, the Sanhedrin's first stop after leaving Jerusalem was actually the city of Yavne. The city of Yavne had many famous Torah scholars, as we learn about it at the famous story of Rabbi Akiva. I believe it was Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai, if I'm not mistaken, who met the Roman Empire. I might be mistaken, that maybe was Rabbi Akiva also. I have to double check it also. Which it was, I believe it was Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai. The Sanhedrin's first stop after leaving Jerusalem was the city of Yavne, which was established as a center of Torah study by Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai and became most famous under the direction of Rabban Gamliel of Yavne. Throughout its continuing travels, the Sanhedrin was headed by the descendants of the family of Hillel HaZaken, the Hillel the elder, the pious. Or you could mention, actually, funnily enough, I just did a story in the previous video only a few hours ago within regards to Hillel HaZaken. It appears that the Sanhedrin was moved to Usha in the aftermath of the Bar Kokhba revolt, famous revolt that which many of us have heard about, where a series of rabbinic enactments called Takanat Usha were established. So what is this, friends? Under the leadership of Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, there was an unsuccessful attempt to return the Sanhedrin to Yavne, but due to the overwhelming devastation in the southern part of the country, they returned to the Galil afterwards, first to Usha, and then to a place called Shefara'am, over here. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Takanat Usha actually deals mainly with establishing the norms of monetary relationships within families. While these enactments were not included in the Mishnah, they were known to the Amoraim based on oral traditions. That's what he relates over in the essay. It's a very interesting historical lesson within regards to the Gemara about this specific area of Usha and what these enactments, these takanot, would actually have ramifications, especially within regards to bequeathing one's will to, might be the son or to the husband potentially, or to a descendant or another person. So it's very, very important. And just to hear an update from Israel at the moment, now that I am here on live, it's just obviously we've seen what's taken place recently over yesterday with regards to these ridiculous rulings of the South African court and these ridiculous charges that have been against Israel at the moment. So my message to all of you is to pray for Israel. We're fighting really two fronts over here. There's our heroic people, soldiers out there is protecting the country, and there's an online so much going on at the moment, and that's how important Israel advocacy is at this specific point in time. So it's Motzei Shabbat Parashat B'Shalach. Was an auspicious parsha this week. Shabbat Shira, it was this Shabbat, the Shabbat of Azi Hashem Moshe Ubnei Israel, a tefillah that we say in the Shacharit service every single day. That's how. So it's a meaningful Shabbat also, where it's a Shabbat of song. Obviously, at this time period, with everything that's taken place over the last few months, not everyone's in the song mood at the moment. But this is it. We keep going with Am Yisrael. It's in our spirit. We've got faith in Hashem. One of the main things we learn in the sixth parsha is that when there was splitting of the sea, there was a battle between the Midat HaRachamim versus the Midat HaDin at the time. And in order for Midat HaRachamim, the mercy, the characteristic of mercy to prevail and to split the sea for the Jewish people, we needed emunah in Hashem, faith in Hashem, that Hashem is guarding us with every specific thing that we're doing, and that's what was a key to splitting the sea, and how it gave us a pathway to enter our way into the wilderness in order to receive the Torah, naturally 40 days later. So that's all we need. We need Emunah in Hashem. Hashem is protecting us. We've got Hashem in our lives. That's the main key ingredient, and we should all remember that. So I'm wishing you all a Shavua Tov Mubarach. I hope you all had a good Shabbat also. It's actually interesting enough. Next week is going to be a Parshat Yitro. What is Parshat Yitro, friend? It is going to be the Parsha within regards to receiving the Torah at Mount Sinai, the famous Parsha of Har Sinai over there. So very, very important Parsha for people to look into, and I very much recommend everyone to spend some time on this specific Parsha itself. And I would like to dedicate this Devar Torah, Refuah Shlema, to, I'll just get the Hebrew name, to Refuah Shlema, to Linda Bat Modian, who is very sick in the hospital with pneumonia. So please burst the gates of Hashem and daven for a full refuah shlema, and just riyut, health, and Be'ez Hashem, all for all of Am Yisrael also. Wishing you a Shavua Tov Brach.